by step on how to install DordStream CMS on your local machine. What is the DordStream? We all know what DordStream is. It's a CMS, a content management system, which was developed with C#.NET 5 and pair with Microsoft SQL Server. So we can only install it when it can only be installed on a PC that runs on a laptop or a computer that runs Microsoft Server SQL. So we can make use of the earlier version, can make use of 2019 and later. But here in this tutorial, we are making use of MS SQL 2019 Express. So now the documentation it's on our official website. So I come down to www.DordStream.org. Then DordStream.org, come down to you can access it directly here. You can also access it directly from the menu bar here. I come down to documentation. So from the documentation here, as you can see, you have a categories here. I have a user guide. This is user guide on using the software. We have how to install this DordStream on a local machine. So now let's take it. We already have the documentation here. So these are the steps needed to be taken when installing DordStream. This is the content management on the local server. So now, see, the content management the reservoir server can run on a local machine that supports Microsoft SQL Server. So it can only run on a local machine that supports SQL Server. So now let's see. So we also have documentation on how to install your SQL Server 2019 Express or later, and we also make use of SQL Server Management Studio. Those two softwares have to be installed on the local machine before DordStream can work perfectly. So now let's click on it. Let's see. So these are the step-by-step we need to take when installing the software here. You can download this. Then we'll provide the download link in the description of the video here. So this is the step-by-step on how we download and install the SQL Server management. This is the step-by-step which we need to follow. Then for the studio as well, you can get you can download it directly from their official website. So this is very easy to install. Just download, then after download, just click on install. Then we'll install it. So the next step after we install the SQL 2019 Express, which serves the server for the database, and we also have a SQL Server Management Studio, which serves as the studio for the database. That means we want to perform an operation on database through this studio. So after we've installed the SQL 2019 Express and SQL Server Management Studio, so that's when we'll come down to the official website and download DordStream CMS software. So this is the download software here. Now here you can click here and download the software. As you can see now, the software is now downloading. So these are the steps needed when we want to install it on our local machine. Well, the number one step is to download the DordStream file, which is the software which I just downloaded. Then the second is to unzip the DordStream file. So it is always a zip file, so we need to unzip it. Then the third one is to install the IIS, which is the Internet Information Service. So it is the Internet Information Service where we host our software, our website, our software on a local machine. Then after that, we enable what we call XPA.NET features on the ISN. Then we enable what we call .NET hosting. Then also enable what we call .NET hosting bundle. So we'll download it also and Then the number 6 step is for us to host the DordStream directly on the ISS. Then the number 7 is for to connect the database to the software, which makes use of the SQL Server Management Studio. Then the conclusion is just for us to access it through the browser. So now the step 1 says download the file. No, so I just downloaded the file here, as you can see it here with the picture. So the second is to unzip the file. Now the new version of DordStream allows us to unzip our file directly from the studio. So now let's open the studio and let's unzip the file. So this is my studio here. So if I want to unzip the file using the studio, I'll come down to tools here, click on tools, then come down to unzip, because I want to unzip the file. So after clicking on the unzip, then I will locate the location of the files. So I will locate the file from download here. As you can see it here, I have my DordStream here. So I'll click on it. So it's going to unzip it for me today. It's going to unzip it. Then I'll get the unzip folder, my current folder, because I downloaded it in the download folder. So now if I want to access the unzip folder now, then I will now come down to the download and I will find the unzip folder. So now it shows me the file has been unzipped successful. So now let me close the app and come down to here. Let me come down to download here. So as you can see now, I have my unzip folder here. So it has zipped it for me. So it will unzip it in the current folder. So now let me now see. So when you unzip the folder, you have two folders. You have got a database folder, but then the database consists of your database backup, which you restore on the database on the Microsoft SQL Studio. Then the second is this. You have got a DordStream. This DordStream contains the file, the folder and files of DordStream. So these are the files, these are the working files and the project which we are going to host on the local machine. Then also have the text file, which is the admin login details. So these are the details for us. These are the default details for us to log in. So when we've so after I've hosted it on the local server, so that's when we'll make use of this. We have covered admin credential, we have author as well. So these are the default username and password, but we only advise you to change it before you host it on the public server. So, and before you change it, you have to create your own first before you remove it. So now let's proceed now. So now we've unzip it. So let's go to the next steps. Okay, so let's go to the next step. Now the next step for us is to enable IIS now. So IIS is always come with Windows, So the next step for us is just to enable the IIS. How do we enable the IIS? Then we can come down to here, come down to search here, control panel. Now let's come down to control panel. Let's click on open. So after we click on open here, program here, we'll see, we'll click on install a program, because we want to enable the IIS on our local machine. Then we'll come down to turn Windows features on or off. So we'll click on it. Then wait for it. Then after clicking on it, it shows a box here. It shows a window features here. So for us to enable the IIS. So now let's come down. Let's draw. So you can highlight it, make it go. So come down to, because I've already enabled it here already. So I'll just come down here I click on Internet Information Service, which is the IIS. Then come down to Web Tools here. Then I've enabled it. Then come down to www web service. So I have to enable the .NET extensible for 4.8 as well. So I have to enable the ASP.NET 3.4. Sorry, it's ASP.NET 4.8. So as you can see now, I will just enable it. You can see it here. I'll just enable it. So after then we'll click on OK to enable the IIS for us. So after the IIS has been enabled, so the next thing for us to open the IIS file directly, we can search it here, IIS. So as you can see here, I have my Internet Information Service. So just come down to open here. So now this is my dashboard. This is my Internet Information dashboard. This is where I'll host my software. So now I've enabled the IIS. Also, the next thing is for me now is to as you can see there, I've enabled the ASP.NET as well. So now the next thing for me now is to host it on my local server using the IIS. So when hosting now, we have to make use of the application pools. So the first thing is to create our applications pool. Is just to connect with the to create a pool for the website we are hosting on the CMS now on the IIS. So now let's create it. So right click add application pool. So we can name it, just name it example. So I can name it, let's just name it example. Let's name it example pool. So now we change the .NET clear version to no manage code. Then we'll leave the manage pipeline mode has been integrated. So let's click on OK. So after this, now we've created the application pool. So the next thing now to create its site here. So by left clicking and creating on add a website. So come down to add a website. We'll give the site any name we want. Let's just name it example. Let's just DordStream example. Let's use DordStream example. So now, so I've given the name DordStream example, so which is the name. Then I'll come down to the application pool. We'll select the application pool we created. Let's see, is example pool. Then we'll click on OK. Then this physical part now, it is the part to where we download, where our file is, which is our DordStream, which we downloaded from the official website. So we can come down here and click here. So let's find where. So it is here in download here. So let's find it. So I think it's DordStream 2. Then now this DordStream, you know, we have a database folder, we have a DordStream. So this DordStream is the part to the software. So let's just click OK. So now, so let's use all assigned IP address, because we can make use of any IP address. So now let's use all assigned. Let's create a pause. Just give it 2, 3, 4. So we can give the host any name. So you can also leave it blank as well. So now let's click on OK to create the. So now we've created the. So now we've hosted it on IIS now. So the next thing for us to let's move back. Let's go back to the documentation. So now we've created the application pool. You can see it here. We've created it, and we've created the what a website. You can see it here. So the next thing for us to add permission so as to make the IIS to read our web configuration file. So now the next thing for us now to add a permission to the site which we created now. So for the IIS to access our configuration. So now let's right click, then come down to edit permission. Click on edit permission. Then we'll come down to security. After we'll come down to edit. Then we'll come down to add, because we are adding the IIS, so we can come down to advanced. Yeah, find now. So let's find the IIS. Find the IIS user. This is the IIS user which you want to allow to access the folder and access our configuration file. So let's click on OK. So as you can see now, let's give it full control. Let's click on apply. So now let's click OK. So now we've hosted it successfully on the IIS, and we've allow the IIS to read the configuration file. So let's go back to the documentation and let's move on. So now, so we've already, okay. So the next thing for us now to call it the next step, which is the step 7, is to connect the database. So we want to connect the database to the software. Now, sorry, to the exactly to the software. So now, after we install the studio, which is the Microsoft SQL Studio, so we just have to open it. Then let's come down to here, Microsoft SQL. As you can see here, I have my SQL Server Studio Management. So we have to open it. So it takes few minutes to open. It takes few minutes to open. So now let's open the studio. Now for the first time of launching the studio, which is the Microsoft SQL Management Studio, so this is what we show us. So just have to add // so as to access the relative part of the, so this // so we are referencing to the local host of your PC, which is of your computer, which is used by .x. That is that. So this is to be the server name, then which we are using /SQL Express. So then after then now the authentication will be window authentication. So you can also add a SQL authentication later on by using your password and your login and your password. But now let's make use of window authentication. So now after clicking on connect, so wait for it to load. So now let's come down to the database here. So after clicking on the database, we will create a database, because we have to create a database. So let's sit here. So we'll create a new database. So how do we create a new database? Let's come down here, because I've already created database like this, so I have to remove it first. So I have to remove it. So because I have to create a database with the same name, with the backup. So let me remove it. So I'll right click here, come down to new database. So as you can see here, we have so this is where we'll create the new database. And note the database name must be the same with the name of the database backup, which is, let's see here, let's come down to database here. As you can see, we have got a .stream connection .backup. So when we are creating our new database, it have to be .stream connection, so we can change it later. We can create our own database later with the name we want later. So we just have to change it. But at first, if we are hosting it at first, so we'll have to follow this process. I have to use the same name with it. So now let's use DordStream connection. So now let's come down to okay now to create. Now let's create. So wait for it. So the next thing for us after create, as you can see here, it must be the same. So but later on we can now change the name. So the next step for us now, we've created the database, as you can see here. This is then the next thing for us now to restore it back with the backup now. So for us to do so, we have to copy the backup file to the backup folder of this studio. So now how do we do that? By copying. Let's come down to the folder here. Let's copy this backup file. Let's copy it. Then we'll come down to localhost. Come down to localhost. From localhost to program files. So now let's come down to program files. So let's come down to Microsoft. Let's come down to Microsoft SQL Server. Let's click on it, and you see you have MSQL 15.express. Come down to MS SQL. Then now see we have a backup here. Then we'll paste it here because I already have one here, so I can replace it because I already have one here. So now the next thing for me now is to restore the database backup. Then I will do that. I will right click on it, then come down to tags here. After clicking on tags, come down to restore. After, as you can see here, we call it database. So I'll click on database. So I'll wait for it to come up. So as you can see here, I have my dialog here, which is for the restore database. So this is where I'm going to restore the database. So as you can see, I have a database here, I have a device here at the general page here. So now I'm clicking on device because I want to restore it from the backup file. So in the front of the device here, as you can see, I have it here. So I'll click on it in order to import the file. As you can see here, I'll come down to add. As you can see here, it will automatically drive me to the backup folder. So this is my backup. Now click on DordStream connection backup. So I'll click on OK. So I'll click on OK, and I'll come down here to file here. Come down to file here. So I don't have anything to do with the file here. Let's come down to option here. Let's see the option and say override the existing database. That is, we want to override the database we just created with the backup. Now let's click on the override this. So we don't need to perceive the repetition settings. No, we don't need. So we just need to overwrite it. Now let's come down to close existing connection to the destination database. So then we'll go before restoring the prompt before restoring the database. So now next thing for us now, you should click on OK. So as if for us to create, so as for us to restore the database. So wait for it. So as you can see now, the database has been restored successfully. So it has to import all the for the database we need, table and everything, the migration, everything. So you can see here, this is the default. You can see that this is the default data table we have for the software. So now we've imported. So now we've restored the database. So now let's move on to the documentation, and let's see after we restored it. Okay, we've already restored it. So after we restored it, so the next thing now is for us to connect the application pool with the database. How do we do that? As you can see here, we got IS application pool /d pool now. So now let's connect. Now let's come down to login here, the security here. Come down to login and let's add new login. So because we want to connect the application pool with the database. So we'll name it, the name has to be IIS app pool slash the application pool name, which is this. Towards the application pool name we created. This was example pool, because you are using example pool for they are using called example pool. You can see it here. So now we have to map it with the database. You can see it here. We can make it public user mapping. So we have to map it to the database. The database want to map these two. So now let's see public. Let's click on OK. So now we've mapped it. So now we've mapped it, as you can see it here, to create a new login for us. So as to connect the application pool with the database. So let's move on here. So after we've done that, so I think that's all in linking up with the database. So the next thing for us now to access the hosted, so to access the website. So then how do the website we'll right click on it, come down to manage website. After you come down, just click on browse, so as to access it on the browser. So wait for it to load. So let's wait for it to load. As you can see here, so this is what we shows for us at first. That's after we've hosted it. So we've already. So next thing for us now to access the admin. As you can see here, we call it local host. This is the port now. This is 2304, which is the port now. So to access it now, just like to add the slash admin, because we want to log into the admin section. So this is where we'll make use of the admin. So this is where we'll get our login credentials. So as I said DordStream is a role based. So if you have admin credentials, we have auto credentials as well. So this is where we'll get the username. By come down to copy the username, come down to here, paste it, then come down to here for the password as well. So I mean, why the password only contain one at it is not two. Let's just copy, let's paste it here. So let's remove one. So this is the password. This is the password admin 32, because if you use, okay, now let's use double. Now let's copy and paste. Let's copy and paste. If we log in here, it shows user not found, so it is only one. And so just remove the back one. So now as you can see it here, so you can save it as well. So now let's access the admin page now. So as you can see now, I've accessed the admin page. You have a login section, you have a post section where you post your content. Here we have the post here, you have the post title, we have your content. Then we'll come down to add the label, the post label. Then you can either save or publish. That's for the post here. You can modify, you can, so the same thing as pages here. So you can also create a new page, add the content, and either you save or publish, because anything you save, it will be in the admin section. It won't reflect in the client side. It won't reflect in the client side where everyone will see it. To only save it where only you as an admin would see it. So show it to everyone. But once you publish it, so it means you are making it live. You want everyone to see it. So we have messages. So this message, which is where you get the message which you linked the email, which is this way you send message, you receive over through your email server, through your SMTP and through your iPad, which is the internet mail protocol as well. So this is the comment. This is the comment section, which you can reply your comment here. You can view all the comments here, which comments they made on your post. So this is the media section. So this is where you add your media, your image, audio files, document files. This is where you upload your files. So this section is for user. So this section is for user. As you can see, we only have only 2 users here. We have the one of auto, we have the one of admin roles. As you can see the row here, we have the one of auto, we have the one of admin. So they have different different tasks to perform on this admin section. So you can view it, you can view the details as well. So now the next thing is for us to come down to the teams. So this is because we don't have any teams here, because I said anything we want to develop using the DordStream, using the DordStream software, so we have to develop it in a template based software. So just come down here, come down to add sign here, so to upload so as to upload, because I don't have anyone here, so I've uploaded it for us to see. So now so we have a template. So this is where you make edit to your file. So this is where you make edit to your file. So also have the layout here. So this is the layout here where you add your widget, you add it to the design, because when you are designing your template, we have a widget which you make use of it. Because I say design of a template, you make use of a DSHTML as well for the writing, and also follow called AVS, architectural pattern, in design your template. So we also have a course settings here. So this settings, this is the control box of the software. So this is where you add your title, your keyword, your description, upload the logo, which is the favicon, then select this maximum post to show on. This is what, if you want to select the maximum post to show on your post section here. So this is your blog URL, this is your URL. So this is where you add user to your software. That means if you want another user to be using software, so this is where you add the name, you add it, and you select the role which you want. This is admin and author, you want it to have access to this person. So as you can see it here, so also allow, so you want to allow the anonymous, that means you want to allow anyone to, you can allow, that is, this allow anonymous means that you want people, that you don't want to authorize it, that you don't want to compulsory every pages to be authorized. I mean, they can access it whether they log in or not. So that's the main function of the allow anonymous. So you also have a database connection string. This is where, if you create, so this is where you add your database connection string. That means, for example, now if you create another database here, so if you create another one which you want to make use of, instead of you using this DordStream connection, if you create a custom one with the name you prefer, so you just add the connection string directly here. So you provide the connection string directly here by adding the connection string directly here. So this is where you enable the couch as well. So this is the module. This is where you install your module, because I said DordStream is a module based software. So this is where you come down and install the module. So you just select the module and what, click on install. So now you have an email here, you have enable free email. If you are enable free email, that means to be able to have a Outlook account. So how do you have an Outlook account? Come down to outlook.com, or create an account with them. They will provide the username, here, and will provide the password there. But if you are using a paid email, let's say for example buy email or buy email through our host, so buy the email, so you can once you come down here, so you can input your SMTP host here, the port, also the port, then the IMAP as well, which you can provide it. But if you are using free host, if you are using free email, so just like tick on here, so you can see it here. So this is the main box of the software. So this is where you make changes. And so now let's log in as an auto role. So let's see the difference here. So now let's come down to where credentials there. Let's copy it, paste. Let's copy the password as well, but the password will remove one. This one is not included, so just leave this. paste it here. So let's click on login, as you can see it here. So let's search admin. So you can see this, that this is only what the authors can do. Can only post, page, messages, comment, media, and view the site. So it cannot make any changes to the template, to the themes, and to the settings. So this is the only what the authors can have access to. This is the restriction for the authors as well. So these are what you need to know about the DordStream, how to install the DordStream. They hope you understand how to install the DordStream. If you have any question, you can come down to our official website and to the discussion here. You can place your question and anything you want. So thank you very much, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.